Hello and welcome to the webinar, Micropayments under the Microscope. I'm Scott O'Neill and I currently head up MPP Global's operations across North America. As you can see, the webinar is called Micropayments under the Microscope, and today we'll be exploring how publishers can implement a successful micropayment strategy. Naturally, with a short window of time, this will be hosted at quite a high level, but I'd be delighted to answer anything that interests you further following the presentation. Just a couple of housekeeping pointers before we begin. We'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation, otherwise the webinar can become a little disjointed. Please don't be shy. If you wish to ask a question, raise your hand as indicated on screen now, or alternatively type your questions into the chat window and we'll try to get through as many as possible. In today's webinar, we're going to be discussing the micropayments economy and what that means for publishers. We're going to be looking at some examples of micropayments in practice. We're going to be going under the hood on how to implement a successful micropayment strategy. We're going to look at some user experience examples and wrap up with some of the benefits that we've seen in the market. So what is the micropayments economy? Well, most of us are aware of micropayments, aren't we? Well, anyone who has ever bought a music track from iTunes or an app purchase in a native app, you've used a micropayment service without really being aware of it. And this is the point of micropayments, and why are they so powerful purchasing mechanism? Micropayments lower the barrier to entry, reduce the purchasing friction down to a single click. Blendle has harnessed the power of one-click micropayments on its aggregated news platform to great success. Was 2015 a macro year for micropayments? Well, I would say so. With article sales globally showing strong results, in addition to Blendle, we saw notable launches of micropayment services from both Winnipeg Free Press and L'Equipe. L'Equipe are offering an all-encompassing monthly subscription or individual article sales. The L'Equipe model is based on a prepay micropayment strategy where users load up a wallet with credit and then that credit is drawn down against for each article sale. This model has been seen over a number of years and does represent a significant barrier to entry for the users as they have to top up their account in order to pay on a per article basis. Blendle, the Dutch revolution in journalism, has caught the attention of young adults with over 550,000 registered users under the age of 35. Blendle is now available over 120 German publications and 60 Dutch news outlets. Blendle is coming to a news publication near you soon with planned expansion in Europe, the UK and the US. Winnipeg Free Press have seen increasing success with over 36,000 readers now paying in some form for digital access to content. Winnipeg Free Press operate a dual subscription and micropayment model. But unlike L'Equipe, the Winnipeg micropayment model is based on post-pay, where the users establish a payment account up front and then they are charged in arrears for each article that they purchase. There is no barrier to entry and there is no need to prepay or buy any credit. Interestingly also, Winnipeg offer the users the best product for them. Initially, all users have a 30-day free access, and then based on the behaviour within that 30 days, Winnipeg recommend the best product based on their usage, which could be either the all-you-can-eat subscription if they're heavy users or the pay-as-you-go micropayment model. Winnipeg have seen a significant upturn in digital usage and the propensity of users to pay, and the results really do speak for themselves. It has been a resounding success for the 120-year-old newspaper. It is important to consider a number of factors when implementing a micropayment model, and we're going to be discussing some of these factors. There are several architectural considerations when implementing a micropayment strategy, and the range of interoperable systems can be quite bewildering. You've got to think about authentication and access control, billing and payments, aggregating the payments together, customer care and single sign-on, all integration with the different apps providers, as well as reporting and the various content management systems that are needed. Thankfully, though, there are solutions that can support micropayments and unburden the publisher, making it easy to create and launch innovative products. MPP Global's eSuite is the only fully integrated cloud platform to identify, engage, and monetize your digital audience. eSuite offers a comprehensive suite of tools to deliver a successful micropayment solution, providing all of the relevant functionality to engage with your digital audience. This includes identity management, social sign-on and single sign-on, access management and website metering, CRM to store and manage user profiles, billing and lifecycle management, including sophisticated anti-churn functionality, where we are able to predict the users who are going to churn in a given month, in addition to a broad range of payment types and models. Product and subscription management, as you can see on screen here, is a very important feature. We enable you to launch new products, new models, as and when required. You can edit pricing and description information simply and immediately make this available on your site. We also offer comprehensive marketing and promotions, including vouchers, upselling, cross-selling, and last chance offers. Analytics and reporting is a large feature of the platform, providing you with all the data necessary to understand all of the user behavior, as well as how your products are performing. And finally, but probably most importantly, is customer care. Customer care is provided not only in our management application, but also in customer self-care form, allowing users to manage their own accounts, change their own information, and update their own details, driving down call center costs. eSuite's decisioning engine is a revolution in the marketplace and uses digital fingerprinting technology to accurately identify anonymous users with a 99.3% accuracy. The decisioning engine provides flexible and extensible rules-based functionality for collecting behavioral data and carried out automated decisioning processes based on this. The decisioning processes can be used to control access to website content, application content, and it can be used to personalize the user experience and optimize the conversion funnel. The most common decisioning engine function is to enable consumers to enjoy free access to a sophisticated amount of, to a specified amount of content, or for a period of time, or to specific content areas of the website. All of these rules can be created within the decisioning engine and automatically applied based on triggers on the user's behavior. Once we funnel the user down to registering and creating an account, they are then only a step away from being a paying micropayments user or subscriber. The decisioning engine also provides the underlying technology that enables the micropayments. It provides the functionality to count individual articles and then to aggregate those article reads into payments. So now we're going to look at the different payment models available. Direct pay is the standard model that we will all be used to, in the fact that it's a one-time purchase, one-time pay. And this is where the user would come along, have a set amount to purchase, and effectively buy something for a standard price. The prepay micropayment service, as mentioned, relies on the user buying an amount of credit up front, in this case here $5. They then go forward and consume articles and the article consumption is drawn down against the $5 credit that they already have and we have already collected from the financial institution. When the credit is used up, the user is required to top up their account with additional credit. Postpay offers an alternative to that and in a more innovative way which has less friction. Postpay is exactly like it sounds. Instead of charging the user up front, you let them use the service and then charge them afterwards for what they've used. This is done by setting a risk limit. The first type of risk limit is value. You don't want the user to have more on their account than the risk you want to have available. In this instance, the risk limit is $4. So effectively, when the user reaches the threshold of $4, the micropayment meter will tip over and collect that $4 in a financial transaction from the payment information that we have on file. The other risk limit that's employed, which is a dual risk limit, is the concept of time. You really don't want to allow users to never get up to the value-based risk limit. So therefore, introducing the concept of time means that as the users purchase content, time goes by. And here the risk limit is set at 5 days. So once the user reaches the 5-day limit, even though they've not got up to the $4 value, we will transact for whatever is on their account at that time. So next we're going to go on to talk about user experience. Using a centralized platform to collect, segment and gain a snapshot of your audience habits and lifetime value is key really to a micropayment strategy, because this will enable you to target, personalize and optimize based on your audience's behavior. As we've seen with Winnipeg, one of their key propositions is recommendation and recommending the best product to the user. This increases the value proposition in the brand as the user feels that they are gaining more, they're gaining the product that's right for them. The decisioning engine enables you to understand the who, what, when, where and how consumers are accessing content. For returning customers, you can entice and reward those who are loyal or likely to churn. And for new readers, this information can be used to further personalize their experience, surfacing maybe more relevant content to them. As we have seen, the eSuite decisioning engine is able to accurately identify anonymous users and track user behavior. We're then able to use this behavior to create engagement opportunities, such as creating additional value in the brand, personalizing the experience, or surfacing timely promotional offers. The effort here is to drive the user down that conversion funnel and turn them from a casual reader into a paying user. Users need to feel that they are getting value and that there are a number of strategies that you can use to do this. The idea of the try before you buy, the free period, the trial offer, the number of articles is fundamental to any micropayment strategy. The user doesn't want to have to make a decision before they pay on whether they think the content is of value. So having the try before you buy is vital. Also, on individual articles, consider article dwell times and the fact that a user may pop onto an article, may read the headline, but not actually be interested in the article itself, and therefore you don't want to be charging the user for those type of views. Also think about money-back guarantees. Many of MPP's clients who operate micropayments provide a money-back guarantee in that if the user didn't like the content, they can, no hassle, get a refund. All of these type of things will build additional value in your brand, and increase the user's propensity to pay. So what are the benefits of micropayments? So the benefits of micropayments from a user perspective is that they make it quicker and easier to buy content. Users can dip in and dip out of services as required. They may not be heavy users, and the all-you-can-eat subscription package may not offer value to them. In effect, micropayments make content more accessible to users and make the purchasing decision much easier. The benefits for the clients is you're able to tap in to a new customer base, a customer base who maybe doesn't feel that the subscription offers value. It reduces the barriers to entry for those. It allows you to monetize these casual readers and gain some revenue from them. And it also enables you to increase the value proposition of your brand. Thank you very much for attending today's session. I hope that was a useful look into micropayments and how we have seen implementations in the past. And some ideas on maybe how you can implement a micropayment strategy yourself. I'd be keen to invite any questions that might be out there in relation to the micropayment strategies. Okay, so we do have one question that's come in. That how do I see micropayments evolving in the future? Very good question, and I'd love to be able to get out my crystal ball. But I think micropayments are going to be central to content purchases. I mean, we've seen some very big successes with micropayments. With iTunes, the App Store. Blendle is obviously a growing success, and really, I think micropayments will become more fundamental to content purchasing. And we will see them used in a much broader sense for all sorts of things. I think we do have another question here. So this is coming from Philippe. Please explain again how we would combine micropayments with several ways to make them. Is the credit card involved? Yes, okay, so I think I get your question. So effectively, how the micropayments model works in the post-pay example, if we look at Winnipeg, is that we effectively take a credit card or a PayPal account or any other type of payment that we can do repeat payments against. The user would register an account, they would add their payment information, and then we would pre-authorize on that payment information. That would be then stored on file, and the user would simply then go forward and click and purchase content. And all the time in the background, we would be recording those clicks and that purchase of the content and aggregating all of those individual sales into a larger purchase, at the risk limits. So if when the bill gets to $4 or it goes over 5 days, we will transact for what's on that account at that time to the payment information that was collected up front. Those risk limits are variable, and you're able to set those as required, really. Thanks for your question, Philip. I hope that answered it. If not, I'm happy to follow up with you after the session and give you some more insight. Okay, we have another question here from Roger. How do you evaluate the risk of cannibalizing on more long-time subscriptions? Good question. I think the case is it's about offering, as I said, offering value to your readers. And ensuring that they are gaining value in the brand. If you have subscription users who are paying for the all-you-can-eat subscription, but they aren't using it that much, and they are probably going to churn at some point anyhow, simply because then they're not using the service, that they don't see the value in the publication, and it's better to try and create a value proposition. So it's very much a balancing act, and understand it would be different on a publication by publication basis. I hope that answers your question, Roger. Are there any more questions out there? Well, thank you very much for your time today. I hope you all enjoyed that and got some meaningful insight out of it. If there is anything else that you would like to discuss, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much and take care.